Shall we start the session? Today also we will not touch the passages. We will do only 30 questions. We will get time for 30 questions. Shall I start with question number 51? So what do the questions, the first 5 questions, what do they deal with? Spot the error. Some of these questions are not that easy. If you are not attentive, you cannot spot the error. So I'll read the first question, question number 51. Seeking to involve, please underline the word seek, seeking. Seek means what? To search for, one of the meanings. You guys are called what? Job seekers. You are searching for the job, seek. And seeking to involve the general public in its effort to create awareness, underline create awareness. In green issues, the environment ministry has decided to crowdsource ideas for its official advertisements. Now, if let's say you have read a few passages related to environment. The moment you see create awareness, then you know the exact preposition. So, what is the word that goes with create awareness? On or about. Generally, we say create. Please, that's why I said underline create. Create awareness about. Here you can use of, about, on. But based on the context, you have to use appropriate preposition. In this context, we use about. So please correct it. Create awareness about green issues. And please make a note, awareness of, that combination is also right. Don't restrict yourself with about. Awareness about, awareness of. Both are right, depends on the context. Shall I move on to the next one? The country is in the grip of an invisible housing squeeze, with millions of people living in homes which are too small for them. This is the toughest of all the questions. Now, where do you think the error is? Who says the fourth part? That is right. What is the error? Is it which or that? Or you see somewhere else the error? Where? Homes which are too small for them. To them. No, for them is also acceptable. But here, please change which to that. See, they are not comfortable for them. They are not big enough for them. We say for them. No error over there. But strictly speaking, now listen carefully. British English, there is no difference between that and which, according to one source. American English, they do differentiate. Now, what is the difference between which and that? What are these, first of all? These are relative pronouns. Please write in your notebook 2 words. First you write that, then you write which. Brackets you write relative pronouns. Then you write the word which is used for, non-restrictive clauses, non-restrictive. You know the word restrict, restrictive, non-restrictive clauses. They are not essential. If you are using a clause, it is not essential, but it adds information, you have to use which. Write one example. Our office, which has 3 stories, is in Chennai. Here, our office is in Chennai. That is the main idea. You are adding information. Our office, which has 3 floors, you remove. Does the meaning change? Are you guys listening? Our office is still in Chennai. It does not restrict, non-restrictive. Now you write the word that. That is used for restrictive clauses. right? Restrictive clauses. Now write the example. Our office that has 3 floors, our office that has 3 floors is in Chennai. Now when you say our office that has 3 floors, it means you have many offices and you are talking about the one that has 3 floors that is in Chennai. Have you got the difference? When you say our office which has 3 floors is in Chennai, you are talking about only one office. When you say our office that has 3 floors, means what? You have many offices, some have 3, some have 2, some have 4. But our office that has 3 floors is in Chennai. Here you cannot use which, you have to use that. Hope you got the difference. Now based on that here, but according to one source, British English, you can use which or that. There is no difference. Remember that also. Shall I move on to the next one? Question number 53, rather easy. Scientists have created a new biofuel. Please underline biofuel. To make the cars running on ground coffee. So where is the error? Third part, what is it? To make the cars run or running? Run. Please strike off. To make the cars run on ground coffee. But underline biofuel. See, when you learn, all these papers are extremely useful. If you look at from a particular dimension, from a particular angle, look at these papers. Now you stop, read this sentence, you stop here, you got the answer, then it is not a holistic approach. You cannot go to the next level. Now I told you to underline biofuel. Now write 2 words in your notebook. First you write conventional sources of energy. Conventional. You all know the spelling, conventional. Conventional sources of energy. Brackets you write non-renewable sources of energy. Non-renewable. You know the word non-renewable. Conventional sources are non-renewable. Brackets you write examples, fossil fuels. What is a typical example? Fossil fuels, petrol, all those. They come under conventional, traditional, but non-renewable. You cannot regenerate. Write the next expression, non-conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy. Brackets you write, renewable sources of energy. Renewable sources of energy. Write the examples, solar energy, wind energy, solar, wind, tidal. All these come under bio. Why I gave this information? Biofuel. That is renewable or non-renewable? Are you guys listening? Renewable or non-renewable? So conventional or non-conventional? Non-conventional. Then you should ask the question. This is an important topic. Holistic approach, you have to think of these concepts. You should ask the question, can I write an essay on non-conventional sources of energy? Can I write an essay on renewable sources of energy? Now, how many of you will say, yes, I can write? Raise your hands. That means you are not ready for the exam. Very simple. This is an important topic. Today, the entire world is talking about renewable sources of energy. The world is talking about biofuels. Have you heard of the plant Jatropha? Jatropha. That is a source of biofuel. They are talking about algal communities, another source of biofuel. And you may get in prelims as a passage, mains as a passage. They may ask you to write an essay in the descriptive paper. They may give that as a topic in the group discussion. They may ask you a lot of questions related to that at the time of the interview. So please make a note, important topic. And this is what I call holistic approach or the right approach. Don't stop with one question, look beyond and ask, go for self-questioning, introspection. Ask yourself whether you know you have the information or you don't have the information. Shall I move on to the next one? So you got the answer for that. 54. The authorities have sought a stricter compliance of their regarding, something is missing here. What is it? Of their what? Directive. Regarding including of mother's name in the degrees and certificates issued by colleges. Raju, I need the paper, Raju. Today's paper. Has he gone? Okay. So, this actually they have taken from some source. They have changed the subject. The subject, I think, related to the UK government. Now, there is a problem with the key. Forget about the key. Now, answer my question, where is the error? Who says the third part? You have taken the test already, so please respond. Who says third part? That is right. What is the error? Regarding including or regarding inclusion of? Please correct it. Regarding including is not correct. Change it to regarding inclusion of mother's name. Hope you got it right. Shall I move on to the next one? Which part? Second part is what? A stricter compliance. Do you feel that is wrong? Why do you think so? Compliance. You feel the word compliance is not correct? Stricter. No, what is wrong with that? Stricter. You mean to say why? We don't know the context here. We don't know the context, exact context. Now, sometimes what happens, no, that's a very good doubt. Her doubt is, please underline, all of you underline the word stricter. Which part of speech is it? Adjective. And what are the three forms? Degrees of comparison, strict, stricter. What is the superlative form? Strictest. Am I right? Or is it strict, most strict? Not correct. So, you are sure about that. So, her doubt is, sir, stricter should not be used here. Is that your objection, this girl, this student? Your objection is the word stricter should not be used here. Now, the problem here, sometimes you know the context, sometimes you don't know the context. We don't know the context. Usually, these sentences are lifted from the newspaper or from the magazine. Actual question papers also. Please remember, the question papers you get in the actual exam, no one writes. We don't have those writers in our country. Perhaps we have, but they don't use. So, when they give the paper, someone has to set the paper. The person, his job is only to take sentences or passages, or articles from some source and design the paper. They don't have to write. Do you understand what I say? In that process, what happens? Now, let's say I have to set the paper. I read one article from the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, entire article about 300 words, then I take one particular sentence. I give as a question here, spot the errors. Then there are two problems. One, it's not a familiar context. Second, you don't know what is written before that, what is written after that. Based on that, you cannot decide. Then what are you supposed to do? Read the sentence. If you find some other error, then that is the answer. Because you have to spot how many errors, one or more than one. Only one. Then ignore this one. Now imagine two situations when you read this sentence. Hope you guys are listening. That's a very good doubt, genuine doubt, highly appreciable. You have seen the word stricter. You got stuck. You got the doubt. Perhaps it is not right. Then don't decide. Read the complete sentence. Then you get stuck one more place. Which one is that? Including. Then if you know for sure regarding inclusion of mother's name, you are damn sure about that. Ignore the first one. Do you understand what I say? You are damn sure including is not correct in this sentence. What is the correct word? Inclusion. Once you know for sure, then you have to tell yourself, perhaps that goes with the context. I am not aware of the context. You are not aware of the context. That's how we have to look at the, sometimes every batch I come across some students, they are very clever, they are very intelligent, and they are good at English. There are two problems here when you are good at something. If you are good at something, you get more doubts, obviously. You question more and you think a lot. But do remember, beyond a point, you don't have to. Don't question every word, don't question every idea. Once you spot a glaring error, what is a glaring error here? Including is not correct, it should be inclusion. Then there ends the matter. You don't have to rack your brains, stricter, strict, don't waste your time. Which one? Inclusion is there. If it is there, then definitely you should not consider stricter. Obviously, what I am trying to say, one question, spot one error. You have two doubts. One is stricter, the other is including. Now here you are damn sure including is not correct, inclusion is correct. Then it stops there. Your thinking should stop there. You should not go back to stricter. That's what I have been trying to tell. If you keep thinking, then what happens? Your time goes waste and you get disturbed. It bothers you. That is very dangerous in the exam. Once you read a sentence, all of you, once you read a sentence, one word should stop you. You should know, one reading, you should know there is a problem here. Stick to that and you should be damn sure about that and move on to the next question. Some other word also disturbs, then it's a problem. I hope it's clear. Shall I move on to the next one? What is the question number? So here, 54, where is the error? The word including is not correct. It should be changed to inclusion of. 55, people who spend longer working hours staring at a computer screen have been diagnosed with a condition called dry eye. Now, where is the error? Please respond. You have taken the test already. Which option? Third option. What is the error? Now, please underline the helping verb have. Then you underline the verb diagnosed. Then you should understand the sentence is in passive voice. Passive voice, perfect tense in passive voice. Already have learned passive voice. We cannot use perfect continuous tenses in passive voice. You all know that. Of the 12 tenses, we can change 9 tenses to passive voice. 3 tenses we cannot change. What are those 3 tenses? Perfect continuous tenses. Present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. Now here, have been, there's a problem here. Now try to substitute, forget about the context. Try to substitute. You know all the perfect tenses in passive voice. One word is compulsory. Which word is that? Been. Now you try to read the sentence. Have been diagnosed with something. Sounds right or wrong? Please respond. And which tense do you think it is? Present perfect in passive voice. They have diagnosed someone. Someone has been diagnosed with something. Has been, have been diagnosed. Present perfect passive voice. So what is the answer here? Being is not correct. Change it to been. And what is the subject? People. People have been. People who spend longer working hours have been diagnosed. Please make a note this question. Present perfect tense in passive voice. How many of you have got this one right? Please raise your hands. That's good. I appreciate. That's the last one related to spot the errors. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? No. 4 correct? That is also, which one went wrong? 52 or 53? 54. Stricter. Oh no, you have company. Then you did not focus on including. Did you focus on that when you read? You got stuck. Okay. That's very, see, sometimes bright students, they have a lot of information. There are 2 problems. Too much of thinking is a problem. Too much of questioning is a problem. At some point you have to stop, accept and move on. But you keep questioning. Last year also I came across a few students. They get so many doubts. The more they learn, the more doubts they get. When you learn more, the doubt should disappear. Am I right? You should not get more doubts. Then you're thinking there's a problem. You're thinking too much. Too much is, there's a saying in English, what is it? Too good is too bad. Please remember that. Shall I move on to the next set of questions? What do they deal with? This is a new model, but in the past SBI, many a time they would give. Now here you have to find out synonyms or antonyms. How many words do you see here? 4 words. And 2 you have to select, a pair. The pair could be synonyms. The pair could be antonyms. Instructions clear? Now again problem with the key. Forget the key. First word habit. We'll take that. Restrain. Restrain means what? Keep away. Stop doing something. Keep away from something. Usually it goes with bad habits. Restrain yourself from bad habits, from drinks, from smoking. Means don't smoke, don't drink. Inhibit. Inhibit means what? Stop. Restrain also means what? In a way, stop. Now substantiate, that's an important word. Please write the meaning. Substantiate means to justify or to give examples. Substantiate your statement. Give examples. Justify. That's an important word. Now what do you think the answer is? B, C. Which option says that? Third option is the answer. But the key says some other option. Am I right? What does the key say? Please check. Third option? Perhaps some other question. I think 57. 57, what does the key say? Please check. Which option? Huh? Fifth option, AC. There's a problem here. This one or some, not this one also. Whatever it is, we will see. Now, shall I move on to question number 57? What is the first word? Myriad. Write the meaning. Myriad means many. I'll give a lot of words. First, write many. Uncountable. Innumerable. Uncountable. Plenty. Plenty. Now here, plenty, I also gave one word, uncountable. When I say uncountable, it means unmeasurable, obviously. And what is the second option here? Measurable. Now these two are related. Just hold. Mysterious. Please write the word. You all must be knowing the meaning of the word mysterious, but write the word enigmatic. Enigmatic also means mysterious, vague, not clear, difficult to understand. Difficult to understand. Not related to the first two words. What is the last word? Melodic. Melody goes with which field? Music. Not relevant here. So obviously what is the answer? A, B. But the key says which option? A, C. That is not right. A, B is absolutely perfect. Shall I move on to the next one? 58. Superfluous means what? Peripheral, not deep. That is one meaning. Another meaning, unnecessary or redundant. Redundant, write the word. Redundancy or redundant. Unnecessary. You all know the word redundancy. I've given many a time. And superficial. You can easily make out what is the prefix here. Please underline super and again here superficial. Now these two are related or not related? Related. What is the third word? Supreme. Supreme means what? Something the best, the ultimate, the highest. Write all these words. The best, the highest, the ultimate. Necessary. Are they related to the first two words? No. So what is the answer here? A, B. Which option says that? The fourth option is the answer. Hope you got it. Sentence number 59, or question number 59, I'm sorry. Ambitious. Ambitious means what? To have the desire to go to a higher level. to have the desire to accomplish something. Ambitious youth, ambitious person. Painful, are they related? No. Complacent. Complacent means self-satisfied. Please write the meaning. Self-satisfied. Generally, we use it in the noun form. Please write the noun form. Complacency. Complacency is very dangerous. You lose your motivation. You don't feel like working. So, ambitious, you are motivated. Complacent, not motivated. They are opposite words. Related, opposite. Compliant, write the meaning of that. That is a legal term. A person who follows the rules and regulations. Compliant means what? Careful with the spelling. What is the spelling here? P-L-I-A-N-T. Please underline. Compliant means what? A person who follows the rules and regulations. Rules. If you follow the rules and regulations, then we use the word compliant. Compliant of rules and regulations. Is it related to those words? No. So what is the answer here? Antonyms. Ambitious, positive. Complacent, negative. Opposite words. A, C. Which option says that? Answer is the fifth option. Juvenile. That's an important word. Please write the meaning of that. Juvenile means young. Young. And I want you to write one expression. What is the word in discussion here? Juvenile. Now, when I say you have to write one combination, when I say juvenile delinquency, you don't have to write the word juvenile to save your time. Use a symbol. The symbol stands for what? Juvenile. Then write the word juvenile delinquency. D-E-L-I-N-Q-U-E-N-C-Y. Means juvenile crime. Crime. C-R-I-M-E. Crime. Juvenile delinquency. Juvenile crime. Crime committed by young people. Adolescents. Teenagers. You know the word adolescent. Adolescence is a period. Neither young, neither immature, nor mature. It's a confused state. Usually teenage. What is teenage? From 13 to 19. The last four letters, teen, 13, 19. That is the adolescent stage. And juvenile delinquency. Some youngsters, they commit crime. There's a major problem in the West, and fortunately not in our country, not a regular problem. On and off you come across. If you remember the Delhi incident, one girl was Nirbhaya case. A juvenile was involved, right? That time this concept came into the limelight, but generally sociologists, anthropologists, they study a lot, they spend a lot of time to study juvenile delinquency because it's a major problem in the Western countries. Now, what is the meaning of juvenile? Young. What is the next word? Mature. Opposite, antonyms, hold that one. Jubilant. Write the meaning of that. Jubilant means very happy. Very happy. Also write the word cheerful. Cheerful. Cheerful means what? Happy. And write one more word. Please write the word jovial. Jovial also means happy. Not relevant here. Justify. Not relevant here. So what is the answer? A, B. Which option says that? Who has got all the 5 correct? Not acceptable. Who has got 4 correct? Only 2 or 3. 3 correct? That means you are not good at, perhaps you are good, but not up to the mark. I don't want to use any negative expression. Good enough, but not at the top. You are not among those who are very good at English. Do you understand what I say? But good enough. And how do you know all these? Again, the same song. What is the song? You have to read a lot. Shall I move on to The next set of questions, what do they deal with? There's a problem with the design. I need the hard copy. Please go to question number 61. Some words are missing. I had to design in a hurry yesterday. So, which paper is this? I will read out the sentence from the hard copy. Given the big roll price rise in failing the previous government, is that the one? The new one is doing well to step up efforts to food inflation. This is the actual sentence. Now we'll see the options. Given the big roll price rise, now before I saw the options, one word, if you are good at reading, one word should pop up. Which word is that? Played. Played. Now we'll see the options. Given the big roll price rise acted in failing. Does it sound right? Please mark it wrong based on the first word. Acted is not correct. Hope you guys are listening carefully. Given the big roll price rise performed in failing. Perhaps, hold that one. What is the second word here? Grasp. Efforts to grasp food inflation. Are they related? Grasp food inflation, not related. So please mark it wrong. Second option. Third option. Given the big roll, price rise showed. Generally we don't say showed, but still you hold that one. What is the second one? Control. To control food inflation. Perhaps okay. As I said, we don't use the word showed in failing. That is not the right combination. Now we will see the fourth option. What is it? Given the big roll, price rise played. Generally it is a combination. Played in failing the previous government, comma. The new one is doing well to step up efforts to tame food inflation. Please underline the word tame. Tame means control. Another word for control. What is it? Tame. Please write one word here. Domesticate. First you write the word domesticate. Then you write one expression, domesticated animals. Domesticated animals. Domesticated animals, brackets you write, tamed animals. Tamed animals. Means what? You can control them, controlled animals. And write the opposite, domesticated animals opposite, wild animals. What is opposite? Wild. Wild animals are not domesticated, they are not tamed, you cannot tame them. Now you got the meaning, tame means what? Control. Now irrespective of what is the last one, proved in failing, efforts to capture food inflation is not correct. But whatever it is, if you get tempted to showed, control is right, tame is right, both mean the same, then you have to decide between the third option showed, the fourth option played. Imagine you are not into regular reading, then how can you decide? Please answer my question. On what basis? Both are verbs, both are in the correct form, then how do you know? There is no other way. Only if you are exposed to the language, you have that awareness. As I said, before I saw the options, I thought of the word played. Something has played a role. What is the word we use? Play. It played a major role. Something has played a major role. I did not think of the word showed. That awareness is required. Now what is the answer here? The fourth option. How many of you have got this one right? I see only 3 students, all boys. Surprising. Have you read these questions? This row? Fine. Now we'll move on. Next question also, there's a problem with the design part. I'll use a hard copy. A research has shown that fasting can, please underline the word fasting. In your notebook, write the word FAST. Now which part of speech is it? If I say he runs fast, then what is it? Which part of speech? How does he run? Fast. Adverb. Please write adverb. Write the sentence. He runs fast. He runs fast. Underline the word fast. Write adverb. Write the second sentence. It is a fast train. It is a fast train. Here, what is the word fast? Write adjective. Train is a noun, so fast train. Write the third sentence. She is fasting. Generally, Americans say fasting, but we don't use that pronunciation. So, she is fasting. What part of speech is verb? Please write verb. Now, we'll go to the question. Research has shown that fasting can cholesterol levels in pre-diabetic people over an, please underline the indefinite article an. That is a clue for you. Period of time. Now, and means you have to start the word with, the next word should be what? Second word in the pair. It should begin with a vowel letter or a vowel sound. How many options are there? All. Then that logic doesn't work. Now we have to go with the usage. But generally here, before I saw the options, one word popped up. Extended period of time. Extended. I don't know right or wrong, but we'll cross check. So we'll see the first pair. What is it? Fasting can minimize cholesterol levels in pre-diabetic. Seems right? Hold that one. Minimize. Elongated period of time. Can you say elongated? Perhaps depends on the context, but generally no. So hold that one. Second option. Reduce. Right combination. Reduce cholesterol levels. Minimize is also right combination. Hope you are listening carefully. When you come across double fillers, one word is right, but the other word is a problem. Then you have to reject. Here, minimize, no problem, combination wise. Reduce, no problem. What is the second option here? Extended period of time. As I said, extended. That usage point of view, that is a combination word. Hold the second option. Hamper. Hamper doesn't go with cholesterol levels. Level. Progress, growth, development, we use the word hamper. Hamper has two different meanings. What is the first meaning? Hamper means what? Block. As a verb, please write the meaning. Hamper means block. Hamper the growth means what? Block the growth. But gift hamper, then what part of speech is it? Noun. You must have heard of gift hamper. Hamper usually as a noun, it means a basket with certain things, chocolates or something. It is called a gift hamper. Hope you got the two different meanings. But it doesn't go with this context. And what is the next one? Please reject the third option based on the word hamper. Decrease levels, increase the levels, decrease the levels. Combination is right. Next one is what? Abbreviated period of time. That is not the right word in this context. Please mark the fourth option wrong based on the second word. May affect, can affect cholesterol levels and an expanded period of time. Now you got to be careful. You have to decide between the second option and fifth option. But generally, as I said, underline the expression cholesterol levels. Now, here it talks about reducing, increasing, or affecting. What does it talk about? The context, generally. Affecting. How many of you think affecting? Raise your hands. How many of you think reduce? Raise your hands. Now, we'll see with reduce. Please listen very carefully. Research has shown that fasting can, underline the word fasting, reduce cholesterol levels in pre-diabetic people over an extended period of time. This seems perfect. Hold that one. But we have to reject the next option on what basis? Research has shown that fasting can affect cholesterol levels in pre-diabetic people over an extended period of time. Generally here, I'm sorry about that, generally here, affect the levels, that is not the regular usage point of view expression. When you do something, levels, when you use the word level, generally we talk in terms of, we don't talk in terms of affecting the level, we talk in terms of reducing or increasing or reducing. That too, cholesterol, when you go for the test, they talk about increase and decrease, they don't talk about effect. Based on that, what is the answer? The second option, reduce the levels, and the second word is the same in both. Those who have gone for second option, that is the right answer. Hope you got it. Fine. Now, what is the question number? I can use, shall I read question number 63? When you meet someone who trips up his sentences with likes and you knows, you prejudge them as unintelligent, but in fact, they may be true. Again, before I saw the options, one word popped up. In fact, the opposite may be true. This is a standard expression. When we talk in conversational English, when you read the newspapers, you assume something, you think of something, you perceive something, but in reality, the opposite may be true. What is the standard expression? The opposite may be true. Now, which option has that? The first option. Now, we'll go with that. When you meet someone who trips up his sentences with likes and you knows, can you understand the sentence? It means a lot of people, not only in our country, more in our country, but in the Western countries as well, those are not very good at communication skills, those are not very good at English, those who don't have a lot of ideas, and those who cannot speak fluently, they use as fillers expressions like you know, like. These are the expressions. Quite often, every second sentence they say, you know what happened? You know this, you know that. Then sometimes they say, when I listen to those people, I say, no, I don't know, please tell me. It is actually, they're not asking the question, you know what happened? In the conversation, they use these expressions because they cannot speak fluently, because they cannot use the right word at the right time, because they're not good at vocabulary, because they're not good at fluency. They get gaps. They fill the gaps with the same expressions, like, you know, and North Indians, they use matlab. A few expressions, matlab, some expressions are there, typical to North Indians. And South Indians, they use expressions like yar. Have you heard of that? It only shows that the person is not good at English, very simple. You have been listening to me, have you ever come across the master using the expression, you know? If it is a question I use, you know what happened, I never say you know what happened. Do you know what is the answer? Do you know what it is? But in the conversation, when I speak fluently, have you ever heard expressions like you know? Say yes or no. It shows that I know what to say, when to say, how to say. I know how to use the right word at the right time. Those who are not good at English, they use this, we call these fillers. The sentence is about them. Now you got an idea? I will read. When you meet someone who trips up his sentences with likes and you knows, that means what? You come across a person in the conversation, he uses a lot of these expressions. Then what do you think? You might prejudge them. You might prejudge them as what? Unintelligent. Obviously, if he is intelligent, why will he use those expressions so many times? But in fact, the opposite may be true. This goes with language, not with intelligence. Do you understand what I say? When someone uses you know many a time, it doesn't mean that they are not intelligent. It means what? They are not good at English. Being good at English is one thing. Being intelligent is another thing. They are nowhere related. Are they related? If you are good at English, does it mean you are very intelligent? They are nowhere related. I hope you guys are listening. A lot of Telugu guys are very intelligent. A lot of village people are very intelligent. Do they know English? A lot of Europeans get Nobel Prizes. They are not at all good at English. You people are much, much better. No exaggeration. You talk to a French guy, you talk to a German, you talk to a person from Belgium. They use, we use the expression broken English. And the accent also, it doesn't sound crisp. They make it very soft. They are not at all good at English. Indians are much better. So it doesn't mean that they are not intelligent. Very simple. So prejudge them as unintelligent, but in fact, the opposite may be true. The first option is absolutely right, but we'll check other options. You can prejudge, cannot be used, and you should also cannot be used. This can be used. You may prejudge them as unintelligent, but in fact, the adverse, please write the meaning of the word adverse. Adverse means negative, negative. And write the combinations. Adverse report. Police, when they come for verification, sometimes they write adverse report. What is the combination word? Report. Adverse report means negative report. Write one more combination. Adverse statement. Adverse statement. And the third combination, please write adverse situation. Quite often we say adverse situation. Conducive, positive. Negative, adverse. We cannot use in this context. In fact, the adverse may be true, not relevant, and reversed, not at all correct. So what is the answer here? First option, how many of you have chosen the first option? That's very good. Now 64. Complaints. What is the word here? Compliant is different, complaint is different. Which part of speech is it? It is a noun, plural. Complaints. What is a preposition generally? Air pollution, what do you say? Complaints on, off, about, any of these possible. We'll check. In the city have more than. Again, when you see this, before you see the options, if you read a lot, I'm not exaggerating today. Why I'm giving my example, personal experience, I wanted to learn something from that. When I read, I also read the paper once. When I read this, when I saw the expression have more than, one word popped up, doubled. What is the word I thought of? I may be right, I may be wrong, but the word I thought of when I read this sentence, more than doubled. On what basis? Generally we use that expression. Something has, the city have more than, complaints plural form, have more than doubled. Then I checked, I was right. That's how I look at the sentences. But we'll check every option. Complaints from air pollution. Can you get complaint from air pollution? So please reject based on the first word. Complaints on thrice air pollution. I think comma should be there. Complaints on air pollution in the city have more than thrice. Not correct grammatically speaking. Please mark it wrong based on the word thrice. Complaints through air pollution. Is it right? Please mark it wrong. Are you guys listening? Please say yes or no, nod your head. Otherwise, yesterday also at some point, some girls got detached, disconnected. They became restless and they were not listening, they were not able to follow. And suddenly I felt that and I had to stop. Remember what happened yesterday? It was an abrupt end to my speech. Abrupt means what? Sudden. I wanted to continue because there was so much to talk and someone wanted some information. When I saw some faces, I felt no, I should not extend. Abruptly, I stopped. I had to stop abruptly. If you don't respond, you sit like that. Then the faculty doesn't understand. Are you listening? Are you in some other world? Are you, some people, with the eyes open, they sleep. Only a few people, not many. Usually we close our eyes, but a few people. So, master gets a lot of doubts. That is not a good thing. My focus should be on enriching. And when you respond, I feel like giving more information. There's no obstruction, there's no block. The flow brings out more words, more information, better information. Now constantly I worry, do they understand? Are they listening? Do they listen? Are they with me? Then my teaching gets affected. Do you understand what I say? That is not a good thing. I hope you are with me. Fine. Now third one, on what basis you have to reject? True is not correct. Fourth option, complaints about air pollution. Generally we use the word about, that's what I said. In the city have more than, what is the word here? Doubled. Generally we use the expression, please underline, doubled. We mention the time period. In the first 5 months of this year. Usually this is the expression we use. Please underline, in the first 5 months, in the first 3 months, typical expressions. Complaints regarding air pollution, perhaps right. What is the second? Have more than multiplied. No, not correct. So what is the answer here? How many of you have got this one right? Very good. But this is based on a reading habit, nothing more than a reading habit. Question number 65. I think have to see the hard copy. What is the last word here? Problem. Fine. About a quarter of the country's land is, underline the word barren. Barren means what? Now, this is what I don't like. When I say barren means what? At least some students, this word you have got many a time. Barren goes with agriculture. Barren means what? Not fertile. I think you got last week. I gave the combination barren land. Barren land means what? Unfertile land. When I ask a question, barren means what? Every word I don't expect. I am practical. I know what I say, what I should expect from the students. Already I have given the meaning. You have got many a time. Then I expect response from you. Means what? You know the word, you have got the meaning from the faculty, and you have got it many a time. Then when I shoot the question, barren means what? Immediate response, not fertile, I expect. But you don't respond, then something is wrong. Do you understand what I say? So barren means what? Not fertile. It goes with what? Land, barren land. About a quarter of the country's land is, whatever the word, barren, and whatever the word, of agricultural areas is becoming a severe problem. What is the word here? Problem. Now we'll see the options. About a quarter of the country's land is changing barren. Can you use the expression changing barren? It is not correct. Please mark it wrong. Turning barren, perhaps right, hold that one. Turning barren and degradation of agricultural areas is becoming a severe problem. This also seems right, hold that one. Converting barren, not correct. No, you cannot use. Changing to some extent, okay, but here converting, it involves a third party, then you cannot use. Mark it wrong. Now what is the fourth option? A returning barren, no, not correct. It doesn't go with the context. Going barren and devastation of agricultural areas is becoming a severe problem. Now, two options are possible. Please underline turning, degradation, one pair, going, devastation, another pair. Easy one, but once you get stuck, you got to analyze. Generally, the land turns from one state to another state. That you all must be knowing. It turned fertile, it turned barren, a typical expression. Hold that one. Let's say you have a doubt regarding that. Now, what is the second option here? Degradation. Now, you have to decide. Now, assumption, you consider turning, you consider going. Then you have to decide on the basis of the second word in each pair. That means you have to decide between degradation of agricultural areas, devastation of agricultural areas. Usage point of view, whenever we talk about agricultural land, we use the word degradation. We don't use the word devastation. Devastation goes with destruction. It goes more with storm, floods. Do you understand? Devastating floods, devastating storm. It doesn't go with agricultural land. Then based on that, what is the answer? Degradation means what? The quality coming down. So that goes with agricultural land. So what is the answer based on that? How many of you have chosen the second option? Perfect, very good. Turning barren, then going barren. Going, sometimes you can use, but not with this context. Going shopping. Please write one example, all of you, in your notebook. Please write the sentence, I am going shopping. I am going shopping. Write one more example. I am going swimming. I'm going swimming. Third sentence, please write, I'm going to a shop. I'm going to a shop. Now, how many of you think the first two sentences are right or wrong? The third sentence is right. Third one is right, first two are wrong. That is your opinion. Others? I will ask one more question. How many of you think all the three sentences are right? One girl, one boy, a few students. Now here, Indians, we have something called Indian English, something called native speakers English, Americans and Britishers. A typical Indian, if I say, if the person asks me, sir, where are you going? Then my answer, I'm going shopping. Then the person thinks he is not good at English, something is wrong with the sentence. What does he or she expect? I'm going to a shop. Typical expression in our country. But a native speaker, he has different patterns. Their language is, it is their language. A native speaker says, I'm going shopping. It is absolutely right. Grammatically, meaning-wise, the sentence is perfect. You are not aware of that. What is the reason? No one uses here. I always tell students, just because you don't know something, it doesn't mean that it is wrong. Do you understand what I say? Just because you don't know something, it doesn't mean that it is wrong. Very simple. All the three sentences are right. I'm going shopping, I'm going skiing, I'm going swimming. A typical pattern they use. Meaning is the same. What does it mean? I'm going to a shop. But Indians use a typical sentence. What is it? I'm going to a shop. You are used to that. But all the three are right. Now, shall I move on to the next set of questions? Not the passage. Someone has a question? Which one? Degradation. Degradation means reduction, coming down, lower down. Generally, combinations. You have to know the combinations, very important. When we say the standards are degraded, one expression. The standards are degraded and the land is being degraded. Here what it means, the quality of land, the quality of standards, the standards have come down. Do you understand what I say? Deteriorate. You can say deteriorating also, but generally what happens, one more thing I would like to share or I would like to say. While explaining, while teaching, I may use a few words, a few expressions. It doesn't mean that they are the only expressions you have to use. More expressions, because English is the richest language. You can use degradation, deterioration, fall down. So many expressions are there. In this context, we have to select the right word. Your doubt is, can we use the word deterioration? Why not? Both are synonyms. So many words could be used. That is the reason why we say English is the richest language. You see Taj Mahal, you can use so many adjectives. It is beautiful, marvelous, wonderful, fabulous, mind-blowing, incredible, flabbergasting. They all mean the same. Okay, right. What is it? Flabbergasting, same thing. What is it? Not confused, surprised, amazed, but positive connotation, not a negative connotation. If you use the word confuse, it has a negative connotation. You said confused, am I right? Whatever it is, the word confused. But flabbergasted, please write two words. First you write the word flabbergasted, then you write amazing. Amazing. Generally, these words have positive connotations. Incredible, write one more word, incredible. Literal meaning of, see here I would like to talk about usage part. English words, literary meaning is one thing. Usage point of view, certain words they have other meanings. For example, incredible, what is the literal meaning? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, you cannot believe, literal meaning. But in usage, when someone does something, we say incredible, means what? Highly appreciable. What is the meaning? Incredible monument, it means what? Not the literal meaning. Unbelievable here means what? Astonishing, amazing. Again, amazing means what? Very surprising. But when we say amazing monument, you are appreciating. It has a positive connotation, not a negative connotation. Fine. Shall I move on to the next set of questions? Not the passage. I think we have to spend time on the para jumble. Am I right? Questions 76 to 80. There is a problem with this paragraph. I checked yesterday. Sometimes when I read the paragraph, the para jumble, some places I get stuck. I am not convinced. I feel something is wrong. So when I saw this yesterday, I felt something is wrong. When I feel that way, I check the actual source. I have my own ways of finding out the actual source. And usually when I have some apprehension, it comes true. That means there's a problem with this. In the actual source, you don't find that. When they have changed, the problem has creeped in. Do you understand what I say? Has crept in. Now here, when you look at these sentences, if you get it right, I will appreciate the students beyond any doubt. What is the reason? Because there is a problem with the expression of a few lines or sentences, I don't think it is easy to get the correct order. But when you see the actual text, you can easily get the correct order. Hope you understand what I say. I'll show you later. This source from UNICEF website. You know UNICEF, United Nations, this thing, for children. UNICEF website, they have taken from there. Here, one or two sentences you can make out, but a few sentences you cannot get the correct order. Now we'll see. What is this about? First, let me ask the question, what is this about? Growth of children, and these children, some of them they die while growing, some of them they grow. After growing, after becoming adults, whether they are productive, not productive. And what does it imply? The concluding sentence. Now we'll start with which sentence? Which sentence talks about children? Have you read this? B is the first sentence. Today no elimination approach because the wording, they have changed the wording. I don't want to take that approach. First, we'll go according to the idea. 7.6 million children under the age of 5 worldwide die each year. This is the first sentence. Please make a note. What is the second sentence? Now there are problems here, two problems. One problem, they have rephrased. In that process, they have created a few problems for the candidates to get the correct order. Second problem, punctuation, and have corrected. You don't have the same thing in the hard copy. What is that I have added? Please make a note. More than 25 times that number, then hyphen, over 200 million children, again hyphen. If you don't see that punctuation, you cannot understand the context, you cannot understand the sentence. Do you understand what I say? Punctuation is very important when it comes to para jumble. Now I'll read out. First sentence B. What is the second sentence? F is the second sentence. More than 25 times that number over, what is that number? The new number, over 200 million children survive. Some people die, some children die, and more than that, some children survive. Underline the word survive. That is a clue. The third sentence they have rephrased. I got a problem there. Now what is the third sentence? Please. A is the third sentence. If you got it right, I appreciate. But survival does not mean that they reach their full potential. That is the third sentence. Now what is the fourth sentence? What is the fourth sentence? Who says E is the fourth sentence? That is right. First you make a note. What is the next one? What is the number? Fourth. As a result, their countries have an estimated 20% loss in adult productivity. Are you sure this is the one? Now you got 4. What is the next one? D is the next one. What is D? All this suggests that what happens during the early years is of crucial importance for every child's development. Please make a note. And what is the concluding sentence? It is not only a period of great opportunity, but also of vulnerability to negative influences. Who has got this order? Raise your hands. That's very good, I appreciate. Now we'll see the actual text. Can you make out? Please look at the screen. 7.6 million children under the age of 5 worldwide die each year, full stop. More than 25 times that number, hyphen, over 200 million children, hyphen, survive. See how it has changed, comma, but do not reach their full potential. What do you see in the hard copy? They are rephrased. There I was not convinced, but when you read this, you can make out what comes next. Because my objection, as a result, their countries, from where their countries has come into picture. Please underline the expression, their countries. That is another bottleneck. But here when you read, but do not reach their full potential. As a result, do you see the continuity of thought? They don't reach their full potential. As a result, their countries have an estimated 20% loss in adult productivity. This seems acceptable. The next sentence is what? What happens during the early years is of crucial importance for every child's development. And what is the last sentence? It is a period of great opportunity, but also of vulnerability to negative influences. I really wonder how many of you have got it right? Please raise your hands. The correct order. 1, 2, 3, 4. I appreciate these students for 2 reasons. 1, they have rephrased, then the meaning lost here and there. Second, punctuation problems. With punctuation problems, it is not that easy to make out. You get disturbed and you're not damn sure which one comes in the second position, which one comes in the third position. Still you manage to get the right order. That is highly appreciable. Now shall we go to the last 10 questions? Please respond. The last 10 questions, what do they deal with? Closed test. Related to evacuation process. Some hazard. What is the word? Evacuation. Evacuate means what? Shift people from one place to another place. Generally at the time of floods, earthquake, people are evacuated. Now here, pollution crisis, a new phenomenon. Shall I read out? During an emergency air pollution crisis, 2 exist for potentially exposed residents. 2 what? People? Yes or no? Sections? No. Alternates? No. Alternatives would have been better. Options? Have you read the passage? So, causes. Only one word seems right. Which one is that? The 4th option. 2 options exist for potentially exposed residents. One is shelter in place, the other or evacuate. Full stop. See, another problem we have, punctuation. The effectiveness of public health communication in this decision is thus critical. In what? In guiding this decision, hold that one. In altering, can you say alter here? Why will they alter the decision? Not right, please mark it wrong. Mentioning, hold this one. Sheltering, here it is related to not sheltering, it is about the options, so mark it wrong. Arriving, this is also not correct grammatically. Now we have to decide between guiding this decision or mentioning this decision. What do you think the answer? How many of you have chosen guiding? You cannot use mentioning. It is not about mentioning. It is about guiding the decision. What is the decision here? Is it whether to shelter in place or evacuation? So obviously the answer is what? Guiding. Please make a note. We'll do it fast. Faculty has already come. Sudhi sir has already come. So be attentive. We'll do it fast. Now what is the black number? 93. So health outcomes can, what is the answer? Vary in the form of acute and chronic cancers, congenital abnormalities, and psychosomatic distress during a toxin crisis. Affect is not correct. Manifest possibility, but here vary in the form of, differ in the form of, change in the form of. So what is the answer here? The first option. Then 94, subject, accurate, no favorite, personalized. But information should always be what? Accurate. So what is the answer? Second option. Accurate information needs to be distributed. Hope you are listening carefully. Accurate information needs to be distributed. Slow, fastest, normally, quickly, closest. Quickly and effectively. Obvious. 96, what is the answer? We'll do it that way. Once informed individuals decide on a course of action, first option, such as whether to evacuate or remain sheltered. Whether. What is option number? Fourth. Then 98. Communication can be the most critical factor that determines the what? The process, the success, access, harness, courses. The success of an emergency public health response. Success. Have you chosen that? Next, 99, what is it? Thus, even before the instructions are delivered, an individual's opinion of the existence, placement, pliability, association, reliability. What is the answer? Fifth option. Reliability of the communicating authority will affect compliance. Beyond any doubt, reliability. If organizations are passed, claimed, awarded, not perceived. Here we use the word perceive. Perceived as trustworthy. Then what is the answer here? The fifth option, perceived. I'm sorry, I have to stop here. Thank you.